Venezuela. Can Trump legally close Venezuela airspace? I'm sure Skeptic and Kimberly, they all fired up about this topic. It's about their Latinos over there in South America. I'm just kidding. But I know Skeptic is rarely invested in this topic. So, but this is trending as well. So we're going to get into it. We're going to kick it off, play the first clip. So Trump made headlines. Trump said he is going to close off this airspace. So the question is, can he legally do it? Let's see what Trump said recently about what's going on with the drug boats.
Boat strikes, if it is found that survivors were actually killed while clinging onto that boat, should Secretary Hegseth, Admiral Bradley, or others be punished?
I think you're going to find that this is war, that these people were killing our people by the millions, actually, if you look over a few years. I think last year we lost close to 300,000 people were killed. That's not mentioning all the families. Have you seen what happens with the families of not only the people killed, the people that are trying to get their son or their daughter off of this poison that they've been fed? I think you're going to find that there's a very receptive ear to doing exactly what they're doing, taking out those boats. And very soon we're going to start doing it on land too, because we know every route, we know every house, we know where they manufacture this crap, we know where they put it all together. And I think you're going to see it very soon on land also. Yeah, please.
So to be clear, you support the decision to kill survivors after the initial
No, I
strike?
support the decision to knock out the boats. And whoever is piloting those boats, most of them are gone. But whoever are piloting those boats, they're guilty of trying to kill people in our country. Yeah, please.
The House Judiciary Committee has subpoenaed Jack Smith to ask about his investigation of you. I wondered, for a deposition, I wondered if you'd prefer to see that as a hearing so that the American public can see the questions and the responses more easily.
I'd rather see it probably at a hearing. Look, Jack Smith is a thug. He's a failed prosecutor. He's a bad man. He's an evil man. He hurt a lot of people. Forget about me. You know, I do this stuff, but I got indicted many times by a guy that they were dismissed. He's a bad guy. He's a sick man. There's something wrong with him, actually. I think Jack Smith is a sick man. There's something really wrong with him. I'd rather see him testify publicly because there's no way he can answer the questions. But Biden knew this was going along. Kamala knew it was going along. And there's a lot of things happening right now that they don't like. One of the things is the auto pen. Everything he signed, almost, with the exception of the pardon of his wonderful son, Hunter, just about everything he signed was not signed by him. He had no knowledge of it. He didn't know what it was. People sitting around the beautiful Resolute desk knew exactly what it was. And those people are guilty, in my opinion, of a major crime. Everything that was signed by that auto pen, the man operating the auto pen, and I'm sure there are more than one because I think some of the people can operate it themselves. Some of the high-level people operated themselves. They would just go in and sign his name with an auto pen onto very important documents, not only pardons, but policy, maybe CAFE standards, okay, as an example. Who signed CAFE? If you ask Biden, what's a CAFE standard, he would have absolutely no idea. He'd say, where is the CAFE located?
Okay, Skeptic, you ready or no? Oh, she's gone. I was going to have her go first because I know she's passionate about this one. I'm going to have Kamal go. Kamal, this is a good point that Oshan brings up. What about the Americans helping bring it in? They aren't doing this on their own. What do you think about that question?
That's a good question, but man, at the end of the day, I gotta agree with Enzo, bro. We lost the war on drugs, man. Okay, we took the L, man. We saw the one dude; he was clearly on the drugs earlier. Bro was on something. Come on, we losing at this, bro. Like, you feel me?
Maybe that's why Trump is so passionate about this. Like, come on, Enzo. No shade.
Trump has been against drugs his entire life. Like, he doesn't drink, he doesn't do drugs, he doesn't do anything.
I know, but like, I really like Don Jr. I really do, but bro was high. I'm sorry.
I don't know. And he lost his brother. He lost his brother because of drugs too.
That shit crazy, man. But yeah, that is a great question. But at the end of the day, Donald Trump is America first. Why would he focus on the Americans bringing the drugs in he most definitely gonna focus on the foreigners bringing the drugs in, right? I'm just surprised he said he know the routes and shit. I'm like, hold on, Donald Trump, bro. You giving yourself up too much, bro. You probably in on it a little bit. He said we know the routes on land, sea, air. I'm like, hey, do your thing, big dog. You feel me? But like I said, I agree with Enzo. We done took the L on the war on drugs, bro. It's over. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah,
I want to
mean,
say
I
really
agree.
quickly, Donald Trump right there, he looks like he needs a nap.
He's
My homie needs a nap.
running the country,
Man
man.
does.
Yeah,
We
he does.
agree.
I mean, honestly, yeah, it's a very stressful job, and no matter who does it. All right, we're gonna play this next clip. I'm gonna have Skeptic respond. Here we go.
As somebody who has personally lost 3 of my best friends to drug overdoses and has been sober for the last 10 years, when I hear stuff like this, your president has appointed a man to run your military that is going to target narcos, cartels that are flooding your country with fentanyl and other drugs. That to me sounds like the type of president that I voted for. However, if you are one of the severely, morally, and likely mentally challenged individuals still on the quote unquote progressive left, you see the targeting of these narcos as a negative. Now, y'all claim to care so much about folks who are strung out in the streets, right? Our homeless population, many of which are on some type of narcotic. Imagine having a government who cared enough to at least do something about the problem and then getting mad at them for doing something about the problem. Make it make sense.
Okay, Skeptic. God, I hate to have to bring race into this, but I'm gonna have to. There are thousands of Black and brown men incarcerated that weren't properly. And again, I'm not trying to make this Black thing come off before you jump down my throat. I'm trying to get to the point though. That weren't properly, they were wrongly convicted. Let's say that. So to hear him say this, and we don't know for sure what's going on with those boats. Skeptic, what do you think? Can you explain to him why are you so against the boats being blown up? Why are you supporting cartels? According to him, that's what you're doing by being against it.
So I want to start off by saying that it's this administration that is defunding healthcare for those that are addicted and have issues and are going to these rehabilitation centers. Literally, the defunding of them is coming by this administration. And then I want to say, if we're going to stop the importing of fentanyl, why are we going against Venezuela? Because Venezuela does not produce fentanyl. So here's the argument. Venezuela produces cocaine, right? What drug are we going against? Because I heard fentanyl is what's being brought in through the southern border. Then I heard the argument that China is smuggling fentanyl to Brazil to then bring up through Venezuela through the southern border to America. China has a very strong relationship with Mexico. China has literally developed a new trade route for Mexico. Why in the world would China have to go south of America when they have a partner right next to us, literally right there? Like, the sense is not making sense. And the last time that I heard Republican Senator Rand Paul say, we are literally murdering people, this is against the law, under the Geneva Convention that we signed, that we said we were going to abide by, international law that we're going to abide by, the laws of engagement constitute that we have to be being actively engaged with someone during war. Are we at war with Venezuela? Like, there's so many things here that are wrong, and that the argument that this man is doing is like just like so wild to me. Are you telling me that we use the military to bomb drug dealers' houses? You would be okay with the military coming in and bombing my neighbor who deals drugs, for example. Like, what? We go in, we take the drugs, we arrest people, and we charge them. We don't bomb people and kill them. Are you okay? And then to say, oh, we have a video that we cannot see, right? Because it's classified, but we're going to take this administration's word that somebody watched the video and then wrote down, which that whatever they wrote down can, go missing, that they came back in and tried to save the Coke. If I get bombed and I'm in the ocean, and I swim, I am a dedicated smuggler. To be bombed and in the middle of an attack like that, I'm gonna swim back to the boat and try and save the Coke. Like, are we okay? Is everybody okay? Because this is literal murder, and what we're doing is plain wrong. Like, I don't care about the dumb arguments that they want to go and try to swindle through. This is wrong internationally. It's wrong domestically. It's just plain wrong. And the people that are ordering this from the very top, we have seen generals, we've seen people in the military that have quit their jobs because of this. Shame on you. Shame on you for allowing good people in the military to have to step away because you're corrupt.
Yeah, I mean, I see all the sides of it. I understand that we have a drug problem in this country, but to Skeptic's point, there's no prosecution. So that's where I have a problem. We're not judge, jury, and executioner. We're not God, but whatever. This is Pete Hegseth being investigated for war crimes. I'm going to have Enzo respond.
Major news right now. A group of former United States military JAG lawyers have concluded that Pete Hegseth has committed murder, war crimes, or both. A stunning statement released minutes ago shows a Department of Defense reeling, a Department of Defense that could face military tribunals, military prosecution, all starting at the top with Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth. The statement was released minutes ago by Just Security, and it highlights exactly how Pete Hegseth violated both United States law and the international laws of war. And I need your help to spread it everywhere, so make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe, because this is a stunning development. The statement released by the former JAGS working group has unanimously considered both the giving and the execution of the orders by Pete Hegseth, and if true, to constitute war crimes, murder, or both. The group was established in February 2025 in response to the Secretary of Defense's firing of the Army and Air Force Judge Advocates General and his systematic dismantling of the military's legal guardrails. Had those guardrails been in place, we are confident they would have prevented these crimes. Bullet 1. If the United States military operation to interdict and destroy suspected narco-trafficking vessels is a, quote, non-international armed conflict, as the Trump administration to suggest, orders to kill everybody, which can be reasonably be regarded as an order to give no quarter and to double tap a target in order to kill survivors, are clearly illegal under international law. In short, they are war crimes. If the U.S. military operation is not a armed conflict of any kind, these orders to kill helpless civilians clinging to the wreckage of a vessel, our military destroyed, would subject everyone from Secretary of Defense down to the individual who pulled the trigger to prosecution under U.S. law for murder. We call upon Congress to investigate and the American people to oppose any use of the United States military that involves the intentional targeting of anyone, enemy combatants, non-combatants, or civilians, rendered hors de combat, out of the fight, as a result of their wounds or the destruction of the ship or aircraft carrying them. We also advise our fellow citizens that orders like these described above are the kinds of patently illegal orders all members of the military have a duty to disobey. Since orders to kill survivors of an attack at sea are patently illegal, anyone who issues or follows such orders can and should be prosecuted for war crimes, murder, or both.
So, Enzo, this is my thing though, them saying, the Democrats put that video out, don't follow the orders. I mean, basically, it sounds like they want them to do treason because they're being told to do it. I mean, can they not follow the orders? What do you think? And what is your defense of everything Skeptic said? Not attacking Skeptic, but Skeptic brings up the far or the left's perspective that many share. And I know you're going to give the rights. How do you defend what's happening?
So real easy. Welcome to America in 2025, where criminals, drug dealers, illegal immigrants have more rights than American citizens and even the president of the United States. They have more rights than anybody else. So this is real easy to defend. At the end of the day, Geneva Conventions have nothing to do with this whatsoever in international water. We do not abide by the ICC or the Rome Statute at all. Everything that Donald Trump and this administration is doing is completely legal under the pretense of the war on terrorism, which Tende Aragua, as well as many other gangs in Venezuela, have been declared as narco-terrorists, giving the authorization to go through with this. Aaron Parnas, another partisan hack, who is paid by the DNC to spew out bullshit, forgot to mention that the JAG lawyers who put that out are former JAG lawyers who are not active duty and not can give any legal advice or anything like that. So then again, this is another partisan hack from Aaron Parnas. What Pete Hegseth did was they have the intelligence, and ABC News last night literally confirmed that these so-called civilians, that they bombed, were knocked off the boat. They got back onto the boat, and this is confirmed by somebody in the Pentagon, as well as active duty JAG that were advising them if the second strike was legal or not, said that they got back on the boat, they started maneuvering again, and that's when they neutralized the threat. Again, this is completely legal under the letter of the law. There's no UCMJ violation at all either. And to all of these, the Sinister Six, the Seditious Six, saying, refuse illegal orders. There has been no illegal orders that the Trump administration has given to any active duty military whatsoever. Any law enforcement in the United States, Border Patrol, ICE, DHS, HSI, none of them for you guys to even constitute that. You're literally calling for treason. You're literally calling for uprisings. You guys, this is not the first time. This this year alone that everyone's been calling for this. They've been calling for it in their cities with Border Patrol to go against federal officers. Like, come on. You guys are so for law and order. You guys point the finger and say January 6th, law enforcement were beat up, but you'll go out there and go shoot at fucking ICE because they said they're the Gestapo. You guys, the hypocrisy is literally all over the place. At least we stay consistent with this shit. At least we want this to stop.
Hey, I gotta ask you a question,
Yeah.
Enzo, because this has really been bothering me. Okay, you know that Donald Trump just pardoned a Honduran president who was he convicted or was he? He was convicted. He was convicted.
Right here. He was convicted, but he was working right here. Cooperation with United States agencies, including the State Department, Southern Command, DEA, CIA, Treasury Department, Homeland Security across 3 administrations, citing classified documents and to dismantle cartels, extraditing traffickers, and fighting organized crime in a pardon request to Donald Trump. And this is all backed up by the court documents.
So why did he pardon him? Because somebody said in the chat he was being set up. Is that why?
He was being set up, exactly.
That's a lot of.
He was going to expose a lot. He was working with literally our intelligence agencies. It's no secret that the United States, the CIA, has been bringing drugs into this country and keeping eyes on cartels and funding cartels. This is nothing but another time of it. And when they got through with him, they threw him in jail, and he was going to expose them for all that shit. I don't disagree with the part.
I'm gonna let Kimberly go next. And Kimberly, I have you answer the super chat. But Kimberly, this clip that came out, it was by women on the left, and they called out the fact that minorities, in particular Hispanic Americans, are joining ICE. So I'm gonna have you respond to it because I know you're very passionate about certain issues, and I know you're very knowledgeable about this one. Let me play it.
She said you'd had it with our minorities in ICE.
I mean, that connects to this, right?
Yeah.
Like, not only do you have no moral compass, and how many times have you seen these guys? They've got their masks on, so you can't see their whole face. But what you can see, it's like a brown skin tone and a dude who looks like his last name is probably like Lopez or Hernandez or something. It's like, what is wrong with you? Not only do you not have morality, apparently you don't have self-preservation. I mean, these people hate you. They hate you. They hate your family. They hate your kids. They hate your future grandkids. They don't think you belong here. You're not a quote unquote heritage American. You're never going to belong. And you're the one implementing the violent force against your own community. I just can't wrap my head around that.
So Kimberly, you're first generation American, right? You're first generation American, right, Kimberly?
I don't know. My mom came here when she was little, and she was naturalized as a teen. But she wasn't born here.
You're technically first generation American. Okay.
Right.
So You could respond to the video, but also thank you who's on it for the $5 super chat. He said,
Mhm.
why do the left love to support criminals and smugglers instead of illegal residents of the US? So you have 2 questions to answer that
Mhm.
and response to why would minorities, in particular Hispanics, join ICE, and are you against it as a minority?
Mhm. I don't support criminals or smugglers. I think crime is crime and it should be prosecuted as such. I believe in the rule of law. I come from a legal background. The issue with crime is not the supply, it's the demand of drugs. So why, let's ask ourselves, why do we have such a high demand for drugs in this country? It's because we have a lot of diseases of despair. It's because we are raised and bred to be consumeristic, superficial Americans. Our spending power is the greatest spending power in the world because we don't really have an identity or a culture that isn't based around consumerism. We are 4% of the population and we consume 25% of all of the resources of the world. That's why a lot of Americans consume drugs and opioids. If we want to go against fentanyl, let's start with the pharmaceutical companies. And also with regards to, I mean, crime is a whole conversation within itself, but over policing just creates more crime. The real solution to crime is addressing socioeconomic issues within our communities and building communities. And then smugglers, okay, legalize drugs and prostitution for one. Second, I believe it's 85% of all of the money that comes from drugs and cartels is legally held here in banks in the United States government. Why don't we go after the people with the money to begin with? Why don't we go after the money launderers? Because a lot of American businesses, American citizens benefit off of that, and that money gets circulated in our economy here. We want that money here. The reason why we go after crime and smugglers is because we need Black and brown bodies to fill our for-profit prison system, starting with the crime bill, which exploded the prison population per capita. The United States government, we imprison a lot of Americans because we make a lot of money off of it. Second, I agree with Crystal Ball. It is an issue with regards to ICE. And I see it a lot here because they are terrorizing my community here in Los Angeles. And a couple weeks ago, down the street from my house, the issue with immigration is also a really long conversation. But I believe in immigration reform. Our immigration system is a failed immigration system. It needs to be reformed from the bottom up. A lot of people exploit the immigration system because, one, of necessity, and also two, because it can be exploited. So that's why it needs to be reformed, right? Let's start with amnesty, right? That's what I think. And then also second, there are a lot of conservative Hispanics and Mexicans. I personally know a lot of conservative Hispanics and Mexicans, a lot of Trump supporting Hispanics and Mexicans. A lot of Hispanics, especially when you get to the East, lower side, are conservative with regards to like social issues, like with abortion and other things, social issues. But a lot of Hispanic communities are actually very conservative. So when you get a lot of immigrants here that are Hispanic, I've seen it, and it's a ongoing debate all the time within Hispanic communities. The Hispanics, and at least speaking for Mexicans who come here legally and go through the process, have a sort of like resentment towards those fellow Hispanics who don't do it the right way. But the solution to that is not to step down on or hurt your fellow Mexicans. It's for immigration reform. But yeah, there is a lot of self-hate and self-loathing within the Hispanic community. I agree with what Crystal Ball said right there.
Damn. Well, guys, to answer the question, it said Trump during his last term tried to use interdiction methods, and runners would throw the evidence overboard. In order to prevent this, he's just sinking their boats. The crime bill was under Biden. Thank you, Al Thorne,
Yeah.
the Martian, for the $10
I don't
super
support
chat.
Biden. Yeah,
I'm gonna let the left just ladies respond to this. What do you think about this, guys? The reason why they're saying they're blowing up the boats is because they would try to delete the evidence. Do you think that still justifies it? Kim, I'll let you go first because Skeptic kind of already touched on it.
No, it does not justify it. If we want to prosecute crime, we need to prosecute crime. And also, I just want to say, we all know this is bullshit, right? There's no evidence that we don't have any evidence, Enzo. There's zero evidence. If they have any evidence that there's any drugs.
What are you talking about? They presented the evidence to the Gang of 8.
I'm sorry?
They presented the evidence to the Gang of 8. The Military Armed Service Committee, they
Okay,
presented
why don't
the
they
evidence.
present the evidence
Mike
to us?
Johnson literally just came out of an interview the other day and literally said all the evidence that they have.
You can't just take them at their word, Enzo. There's no evidence that there's any drugs, and even if there was, those people.
What are you talking? You can literally watch the video and you can literally see the piles of fucking drugs on the boat.
Do you really think
I'm
that's
pretty
making it
sure
to
that's
US
enough
shores?
evidence that we need.
It's completely illogical. There's
No,
no
it's
way
not.
that that little amount. Okay, argument's
The
sake,
little
let's say there is
amount.
a little bit of drugs.
Do you
on those
understand
boats.
how big these
That
boats
doesn't
are?
give them the right to blow up the boats.
Yes, it does.
No,
Yes,
it
it does.
fucking doesn't.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing, right? So we don't care about these drugs killing American citizens.
Yeah, actually,
I care
do.
more about 230 million Americans a year dying from drugs than fucking 13 goddamn fucking drug smugglers. I don't give a fuck.
Okay,
Honestly.
so since he cares so much, what is the biggest drug that Americans are dying from?
Fentanyl, right?
Fentanyl, cocaine, right up there with crack and heroin.
Not cocaine.
No,
Cocaine is the
no,
least.
it's opioids. It's opioids. It's what it
cocaine.
is.
Oh, yeah.
And when we look at what Venezuela is producing, they're producing cocaine. So
Yeah.
why
Very
not
little
go against the people that are producing opioids? Why are we just bombing one nation? Why are we going against Venezuela, who like you said, TrendingNow, right? They tried to make them an international terrorist group. America's the only one that's claiming they're an international terrorist group.
Well,
other
Yeah,
nations,
because we're
other
the
nations
only
are not
ones-
claiming that.
Where Venezuela dumped them into our country. That's why. That's why.
How did they do that?
You forgot
Explain
about,
to me how they did that. Explain to me how they dumped people into our nation.
Under the Biden administration, where
Oh,
we
I
gave
think you're forgetting.
500,000. Hold on, where we gave 500,000 of them TPS status to come into the United States, where they took over fucking apartment buildings, terrorized neighborhoods. That's why they're here. That's why we classified them as a terrorist organization. We have full authority to protect Americans at the end of the day. If you think America is so bad that everywhere else is so great, that we're so terrible under this administration, then fucking leave. At least we have an administration that is doing
you go off
something.
into this random.
I was talking.
You go off into this random.
Talking.
I never said
talking.
any of that. You're putting words into my mouth that I never said.
I was talking.
And
I don't care.
us saying that they're a domestic terrorist group doesn't give us a right to go into international waters, into international waters and bomb them when we don't actually have proof. Where's this video? Please provide me the video where you can see the coke, because you're saying that you saw a video that you never saw. You have no evidence, but you're going off of someone else's words. It's crazy.
I got you. I got you.
Okay.
I got you.
Is a little bit.
Show it to me.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying I would be fine if they were arresting them. But the fact is, what bothers me personally is they said that there were survivors. I don't know. I have a problem with that. You know, we say we're a Christian country, yet we're killing people. I have without what's the term?
Due
Kimberly?
process.
Come on, my legal girl. Without due process, I have a problem with that.
We don't need due process.
Alejandro
Yes,
Carranza Medina.
This
This is the name of a Venezuelan fisherman, Alejandro Carranza Marina.
Oh, he's
and
a
his
fisherman?
family
Was he a
and
fisherman
his
during the day and
family
smuggled drugs at night?
and
Yeah, I got you.
his family is coming out and saying that they don't have any way of tying him.
What's
They have
that?
no way
What's
of
that on the
tying
back
him.
of the boat there, huh?
That-
You don't have fucking evidence of
again.
it? We don't
No,
have
you do
evidence of
not.
it?
No, you
Yeah.
don't.
Really?
No, you don't.
Really? You don't
No.
see the drugs?
No.
So
They have not
Skeptic, why
provided
don't
us.
you think-
They have
ignorance
not.
of you is fucking
No,
insane.
no, they have not provided us
Skeptic.
with enough information for them to be deemed guilty of this, and for us to say
Skeptic,
that
why
bombing
are
them
you
is
not
okay.
believing the video? Do you think the video is
Okay,
doctored?
I'll say that. Let's say for argument's sake that those are drugs. That happens often, right? Like even they catch them a lot off the coast of Florida. Why the fuck are we in Venezuela? Why don't we go off the coast of Florida?
And what gives us
can't
the
do that.
right? Number
Second,
one,
if we want to really quickly, sorry, Skeptic. Second, if we do want to go after drugs, why are we going after the little fish? If you
We're not
take
going
out
after
the
the
little
fish, we're
fish,
going
there will
after the
always be
cartels who are
more
doing
little
it.
fish. Somebody will always do it. As long as there's a demand, there will be a supply. It is so backwards to go after the little fish. Go after the big fish. Start with all of the money that's invested here in the United States coming from the cartels that this country allows. Why don't we go after the big fish?
Let me just say this. Let me start off with saying
Yeah,
this.
you
The
could be the
biggest
last skeptic, and then we're gonna go to the
the
next
biggest
topic.
consumers of cocaine are white people, okay? And the fact of a matter is this. The government doesn't give a shit about who is addicted to what, because they put crack into the black community and they didn't give a shit about who was dying and what was happening to the black community. But now all of a sudden they want to make a big deal about, oh, why is this coming into our nation? Because they want to go and attack Venezuela. They're not hitting the people that are actually producing, and Venezuela is not producing fentanyl. Are we going to kill people because they have cocaine? So then it's going to be okay whenever we see white Americans on some boat and somebody just bombs them, because they just they make the assumption. They make the assumption. They make the no. I will say whatever I want to say because I'm going factually
because you're a
based.
racist piece
I'm
of
going.
shit. That's
I'm
why.
going
Hold
factually
on.
based. The fact that
come
white
at
people,
fucking
you're
white
a
people for
racist
being
piece of
racist in
shit.
America
Everyone that
and standing
follows
up
you
for
is
the
fucking
community
racist.
that you're not
Yeah,
racist
right.
and you want to get
I have
racism
listened
out
in
of
on
your
your
mouth.
lies. You're a
But
fucking
everything
racist.
out
You
of
want to
your
talk about
mouth is white
racism?
people this, white
Your
people
ass
that,
is
white people this,
racist.
white people that. Shut the
No, I won't.
Let's cut it off. Let's cut it
you
off. This is
fucking
getting too
racist
personal.
piece
You're
of
the
shit.
first fucking
Fuck
person
you.
to say racism, and you're the fucking
Hold on.
racist.
Yeah,
All right,
how am I
all right.
racist?
Listen
What's
to his live for 2 seconds. All they talk
what's up?
about is
How am I
race.
racist?
They
How am I racist? Say one
Oh
thing.
God, I can't.
Say one thing. Say one thing.
Come on.
Yeah, that's what I
Hold
fucking
on.
thought.
What the
All
fuck?
right,
I don't give a fuck what you're saying. I have a clip
all
of you
right.
saying racist shit on your live
Pull it
on
up right now.
TikTok.
Say it right now.
I
Play
will.
it right
Somebody
now.
send
Play
it
it
to
right
me.
now.
Send
Play
me a
it right now.
DM of you
Play it
and your
right
little
now.
cronies
Play it
talking shit
right
about the
now.
black
Play it right
community.
now.
About the
Play it
black
right now.
community. So
Play it right
yes,
now.
bitch.
Play
Yes,
it right
bitch, you
now.
racist.
Play it right now.
Motherfucker racist as
Play it
hell.
right
Up here
now.
talking about
Coming
pandering when he gets
and
on.
we want you to level up with us.
Take a
Our
break, everybody.
brand new party memberships are now live, and we're bringing you real perks that actually mean something. When you sign up as a
Jesus,
member,
we don't gotta
you get
wish me hate
exclusive
money.
new
Praise
party
God.
emojis only
I
for
use the
members to
word
flex in the
God.
chat,
I do this.
member only content, behind the scenes, unreleased, and VIP access, a member badge / tag, so we know exactly who our real supporters are during the live streams. And that's just the beginning.
Hold on.
Starting soon, we're launching our brand new series, a member-only live stream, first Fridays Ladies Night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, starting this Friday. This will be an intimate, members-only conversation you won't get anywhere else with the ladies of the New Party podcast. Plus, we're taking you with us in real life. Your membership helps us bring more on-the-ground content. We attended the Diddy trial, and we're back at it again, attending AmFest, featuring Officer Tatum, Tucker Carlson, Megyn Kelly, the Chrisleys, Erica Kirk, and more. Exclusive preview below.
America Fest is the starting point for us to take America to greater heights in 2025. We have a team that is ready to change the world and bring America back to greatness.
Experience the greatest celebration of America. 4 days, thousands of patriots, the loudest voices, the strongest leaders, featuring Charlie Kirk, Tucker Carlson, Steve Bannon, Jesse Waters, Greg Gutfeld, Grant Cardone, Rob Schneider, Matt Walsh, Michael Knowles, Glenn Beck, Riley Gaines, Todd Chrisley, Savannah Chrisley, and more. December 18th to 21st in Phoenix, Arizona. The movement meets here. You won't want to miss this.
And as you already know, the New Party podcast will be there in full effect. Miss Rippy, Ken, Billions, and myself will be there in person. So check us out when we're there if you end up going to Phoenix. So if you rock with us, if you support what we're building, if you want more access, more content, and more real conversations, hit that join button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell while you're at it, and become an official New Party member today. Let's grow this movement together. New Party.
Okay, we are back. We're gonna bring Skeptic back. Where's the applause? Bring the applause. Come on, we bring Skeptic back up.
Hold on, I got it. Oh, I ain't gonna lie, I love it.
Hooray.
I love
Oh
it.
God.
Y'all bring
Okay,
it.
guys,
Y'all argue. God damn.
you might need to bring Jesus here.
I was in the middle of my
Enzo's gone.
statement.
Enzo has exited the conversation, which is probably for the best, but it's okay. We'll move on. We all need to be respectful. But I didn't want Enzo to leave. I'm sad he's gone, but nevertheless, we're here. Okay. Guys, we represent all sides. Sometimes all sides have an emotional conversation. I'm glad we're having this conversation, though. Okay. Enzo and Skeptic, what I love about them is they both represent their sides to the extreme, and I respect that. So, guys, thank you for staying. Oh, she left. I don't know. Okay, so then there were three. Kimberly, you're the only one from the left, and I'm on the right, and Kamal's independent. So we're going to I'm going to be speaking, guys, in the panel and then there were three, but that's okay. All right. Oh, she's back. Okay. Ooh, okay. Ooh, she's back.